Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Dandadan, a horror manga series that started in 2021 and was adapted into an anime series of the same name in 2024. It's about the adventures of two teenagers with supernatural powers who team up to fight aliens and monsters attacking the Earth. In this video, we'll be exploring the backstory and more such info about Ken Takakura, known better by his nickname Okarun, who also happens to be the main protagonist of the story. So put on your seatbelts as we dive into marvelous videos, Okarun Origins and Anatomy, Explore. Who is Okarun? What does he look like? At the beginning of the story, Okarun is just an ordinary high school boy with nerdy looks. He's short and has a slim build with black hair and brown eyes. He wears round-framed glasses and has a bowl cut, giving him the perfect geeky appearance. Although he does have major character development after he's possessed by Turbo Granny's spirit. His hair becomes unruly with spikes jutting out in all directions, giving him an intimidating look. His muscles become toned as well due to his strength training and the constant face-offs with aliens and monsters. After all the chaos with Turbo Granny, Okarun gets a unique appearance, something different from all the other characters in the story. His usual outfit is his Gukaran-styled school uniform, with a black buttoned-up top and black full-length pants. He's also seen wearing a variety of other outfits later on, such as hoodies or t-shirts, when he's around his friends or hanging out at Seiko Ayasi's place. What is Okarun's personality like? Okarun's personality in Dandadan is a mix of socially awkward, altruistic, and passionate for paranormal activity. He's initially shown as a quiet and introverted high school guy who thinks he's incapable of making friends and that people are better off not being associated. This comes from the fact that he grew up without any friends during his childhood due to constant bullying. This also led him to look for friends in extraterrestrial beings and developed his keen nature in the paranormal, mainly aliens and cryptids. Despite his socially awkward nature, Okarun goes out of his way to help people in need, even if it means putting himself in danger. He's always ready to protect those he cares about. For example, he puts his life at risk to save Momo Ayase in multiple alien and yokai attacks in the latter half of the story. In one instance, he readily offered Mr. Shrimp his Kintama for him to sell it and earn some money for his son's blood transfusion. He even offered himself as a duel partner to the Evil Eye on the condition he wouldn't harm anybody else. Okarun is deeply involved in researching UFOs and extraterrestrial phenomena, to the extent that it has become an integral part of his personality. Despite his strong belief in aliens, he doesn't believe in spiritual entities like ghosts or yokai, which creates a bittersweet chemistry between him and Momo Ayase, who believes the exact opposite. What is Okarun's background? Okarun grew up as a timid and introverted child who struggled to make friends in elementary school. His social anxiety and interest in aliens made him a subject of mockery and bullying from his classmates. With no friends to talk to, Okarun became increasingly obsessed with aliens and UFOs, and it became a way for him to escape his loneliness. His life takes a dramatic turn when he meets Momo Ayase from Class D, who protected him from the bullies in his class. He instantly grew a liking for her and sensed an opportunity to make his first friend. After the bullies stopped, he ran after her and began a conversation about aliens. This annoyed Momo, and she revealed that she didn't believe in aliens, but instead in ghosts, since her grandma was a spirit medium. Okarun made fun of her, saying ghosts didn't exist and only aliens did. They then challenged each other to go to places where aliens and ghosts were believed to be dwelling, and it doesn't go well for either of them, since Momo discovers aliens and Okarun discovers Turbo Granny. They initially disagree with each other's beliefs, which led to hilarious banter between them, but as the story progressed, they uncovered many dark realities of the world together, which ultimately made them have faith in each other. Momo helped Okarun grow out of his shell, giving him the confidence to face other humans and spiritual beings as well. She made him feel comfortable, offering him the companionship he always longed for, and this made Okarun form a deep connection with her. Through their bizarre encounters with aliens and yokai spirits, Okarun and Momo developed a sense of mutual trust, respect, and affection for each other. What are Okarun's natural abilities? Despite his initial weak and feeble impression, Okarun gets an impressive boost in his abilities as the story progresses. He has incredible stamina that allows him to flee from supernatural threats or engage in battles with them for longer periods of time. Often, he has shown his endurance in tough battles, where he regained consciousness and stayed in the fight even after suffering multiple blows or being thrown into walls or other solid objects. He also has incredible athleticism, which is shown in the school physical fitness trials, where he finished a 50-meter sprint in just 5.8 seconds, managed to throw a handball 35 meters, reached 3.6 meters in the standing long jump, and completed 120 shuttle runs. He also has remarkable speed and agility, which he showcases when dodging enemy projectiles or evading surprise attacks. His quick movements have managed to save him quite a few times in his alien battles throughout the story. Apart from this, Okarun also has a sharp reaction time that allows him to respond to dangers in an instant. This skill is crucial for him to survive against aliens and yokai spirits, which are said to have incredibly quick attacks. His heightened awareness of the surroundings comes in handy as well, allowing him to make strategies and plan attacks according to the threat possessed. What is Okarun's Turbo Granny for? Ever since Okarun was possessed by the spirit of Turbo Granny, he's been able to transform into the Turbo Granny form, which not only changes his appearance, but also gives him incredible supernatural power. In the beginning, when he merged with the yokai spirit, he was confused and anxious, but after learning how to control it, he could transform in and out of this form at will. In his Turbo Granny form, Okarun looks much more intimidating, with a glowing aura surrounding him. His unruly hair turns white and gets wilder and spikier, resembling an electrical aura passing through his hair. He also gets 2 thick vertical stripes across his eyes and a dark jaw mask with rows of visible sharp teeth. His body gets more muscular but hunched, and the nails on his arms and toes become black and sharpened. Okarun's clothes, too, get darker and more flame-like, giving him a dark, fiery appearance. Since Turbo Granny had an extraordinary ability to run at 100 kilometers per hour, Okarun is able to do so in his Turbo Granny form as well. Apart from this, he also gets superhuman strength, being able to deliver powerful punches, break through barriers, and overpower larger enemies all by himself. He also becomes more durable, as he's able to withstand much more damage and stay in the fight while in this form. How fast is Okarun in Turbo Granny 4? The Turbo Granny form grants Okarun an incredible boost, allowing him to move at unparalleled speeds. He often refers to his attacks at maximum speed as going all out. With this speed, he gains the ability to dodge attacks and outpace enemies in the blink of an eye, and his reaction time becomes instantaneous as well. This gives him the upper hand in battles with slow-moving aliens or yokai spirits. How durable is Okarun in Turbo Granny form? After transforming into the Turbo Granny form, Okarun gains significant durability due to the supernatural energy from Turbo Granny's spirit. He's able to withstand physical attacks without taking a lot of damage and recovers quickly even after being slammed into walls or when hit by heavy objects. Also, since he inherits yokai powers, he becomes more immune to curses or spiritual energy attacks in this form, making him much tougher than an average human. Can Okarun teleport? Apart from the incredible speed and superhuman strength, he also got another ability from Turbo Granny, that is, the ability to transport himself using telephone cables. He uses this ability to go from one place to another in the blink of an eye, and all he needs is wire connectivity between the places. Okarun does this by merging with the wire by spiraling his body and traveling along the cable's magnetic field as a form of energy. Although it's not exactly teleportation, the process is so instantaneous that it makes it seem like he is teleporting. What is Okarun's astral projection ability? Okarun can separate his spiritual form from his physical body and roam around as an astral projection. However, he's been shown to do this just once in the story so far, and that too wasn't intentional. While in this form, he can turn invisible to normal people and also gains the ability to fly. Although, there is a catch to this one. He has to return to his body in a short period of time, as the longer he takes, the more detached his soul gets from his physical body, and once it's completely detached, he'll never be able to return. What are Okarun's combat techniques? Okarun's combat techniques mostly involve utilizing the incredible speed of Turbo Granny to his advantage. Using his speed, he attacks enemies rapidly, giving them no space to fight back. Usually, his attacks are speed tackles and headbutts, which are very effective in damaging enemies and rendering them immobile for a while. During his battle against the music room portraits, he showed enhanced speed and reflexes to evade the Tulpa's musical note attack and later defeated them using a series of headbutts in succession. While in combat, he is also able to launch himself like a missile by squatting and gathering enough energy to jump with a greater force. The speed at which he charges against enemies is massive, making powerful opponents go crashing if hit by Okarun's headbutt. In one instance, he was able to split the giant body of the Serpo Dover demon Nessie in half using this attack. What are Okarun's strengths in combat? Okarun's agility, reflexes, and teleportation ability are his main strengths that allow him to dominate strong opponents in battle. Even when he transformed into the Turbo Granny form for the first time, his body reacted much faster than usual, and he escaped an attack by the Flatwoods monster. He was also able to take Momo in his lap and run all the way across Shono City when they were being chased by the Earthbound Spirit Crab. Okarun also has the ability to transport himself via telephone wires, and he does it in lightning-fast speeds, almost as if teleport. This ability also helps accelerate his speed after he's ejected from the telephone wire, giving an overall boost to his agility. What are Okarun's weaknesses? Despite wielding immense power due to Turbo Granny's abilities, Okarun has his fair share of weaknesses. His human body cannot take the strain of the powerful yokai form, and hence, it drains out after a while. This is the reason he can use his all-out attack only a few times in his battles. Pushing his powers beyond his limits leaves him temporarily weakened and vulnerable, turning him back to his human form and giving enemies an opening to attack. Apart from this, his wire travel ability also has some limitations, since he can't travel to places with no cables or telephone poles, thereby limiting his mobility. In prolonged battles, he can be overwhelmed with multiple injuries and eventually exhaust himself, leading to defeat at the hands of his enemies. Okarun's relationships explored. Now let us explore Okarun's relationship with the other characters in the story, from his deep connection with Momo Ayase to his awkward but fun relationships with Ira, Seiko, and the others. Momo Ayase. Okarun and Momo have a shared interest in the unnatural, with Momo's belief in spirits and Okarun's obsession with aliens bringing them together. This leads them to form a team to dive deep into the world of the supernatural, forming the base of their relationship. Their bond gets deeper as the story progresses, and both of them develop a crush on each other. While Momo keeps her feelings hidden most of the time, Okarun proposes his love for her at one instance. Together, they complement each other as Momo brings out his talkative side, and he protects her whenever she feels vulnerable. Seiko Ayase. Okarun's relationship with Seiko is mostly a teacher-student sort of relationship, as Seiko guides him on his quests to recover his family jewels and how to win the battle when he encounters aliens. They also have hilarious moments between them, such as the time when Seiko jokingly wanted to see his crotch after both his balls went missing. Despite all the lighthearted comedy, Okarun respects her greatly and follows her commands most of the time. Ira Shiratori. Ira initially develops a crush on Okarun and sees Momo as competition for his attention, but eventually all of them get along and become good friends, forming a team against alien and yokai monsters. Jiji Hasegawa. Due to his overly extroverted nature, Jiji manages to make friends with everyone, and Okarun is one of those people. They have comical moments together and eventually become trustworthy allies. That's all we got for you this time, but let us know your thoughts on Okarun in the comments section down below.